TV.
Good morning. Welcome to Keep Moving with the Senior Center. I'm Amy Beck, the Director of Senior Services and the Director at the Senior Center. Many of you know that while during COVID, the Senior Center has not been open to the public, but that doesn't mean that we haven't been busy. We have any number of virtual programs, activities. We've even over the summer been able to do a few things outside. And we're serving meals 4 days a week, which you can either pick up or we can deliver. We do have a limit on how many we do, so give us a call and see if they're still available. Their listing is in our newsletter, so you'd be able to see that there. And for those of you who have not seen the newsletter, this is what it looks like. It comes to you in a white envelope, and hopefully you will be able to read through it and see what else we have going on. And like I said, we have everything from French classes to exercise and other special programs. But during that time, we also have a memory cafe. And with us today is Pat Stradava, who has been really instrumental in helping us get the memory cafe going. And really it is we have partnered with the library. So that's not just the Senior Center event. It is a partnership with the library. When we were pre-COVID, we were holding these programs at the library, but now we are virtual. So good morning, Pat. Welcome to Keep Moving.
Good morning. I'm excited to be here and tell you all about the Memory Cafe. When we met in person, the Memory Cafe, and it hasn't changed virtually either, it's a gathering place for those that are living with forgetfulness, mild cognitive impairment, or dementia due to Parkinson's or Lewy bodies or Alzheimer's. And it's a place for those, for the caregiver, for family and friends of the individual that's living with dementia to come together and share some joyful experiences, especially during this time of COVID when isolation surrounds us all. It's a place to come and be with people who are experiencing the same issues that you as a caregiver and you as one who's living with dementia. We provide music, exercise, some art activities. People love to come to the Memory Cafe because it gives them a family kind of experience. They're family of people who are living with the same issues as they are. We do meet on the second Tuesday of every month. And in the Hopkinton newsletter, the Hilltopper, there is a brief description of the Memory Cafe. In fact, we have a Memory Cafe coming up next Tuesday, December 8th at 1 o'clock. And it's not too late to register to join us there. Roger Tincanel is going to lead a sing-along of holiday songs and familiar songs. You're invited to dance or sing or bring your percussion instruments. They might be homemade ones, and that's fine. And I also want to tell you that we have a network of memory cafes. When we were meeting virtually, the Memory Cafe calendar from surrounding towns, our neighboring towns, for instance, Shrewsbury, Ashland, we all had in-person memory cafes, and most of us have turned to virtual ones now. So it's possible to attend a memory cafe any day of the week. And if you're interested in that, feel free to contact me at info@memorycafe.org, or you can call me at 508-497-0108, or you can call the Senior Center at 508-497-9730 to register. We welcome all of you, and I think that you'll find if you come to the Memory Cafe virtually on Zoom, you may find out something about the person that you're caring for that you didn't realize before. There may be that moment of joy that they have from singing or moving or just laughing together with you. So that is our Memory Cafe, and I hope that you'll join us.
Well, I know that one of the things that I've always been impressed with is that everyone who goes to the Memory Cafe, whether you are a participant, a caregiver, or a volunteer, and it is a really welcoming place. It is. There's always a lot of fun and laughter that is there. So I'm so glad that we've been able to continue it virtually. I know it's not the best of every world for everybody. We're doing we're working with what we have, but I mean it is really exciting to be a part of it. And I know that as soon as we can get back in person, I know that's something we would love to be able to do again in person. So
I'd
thank
like
you
to
for
add,
continuing these.
I'd like to add that after every Memory Cafe, and I look back on it, there's always a joyful moment that makes all of this rewarding. You come away feeling like everyone had an opportunity to be who they are, even though they have memory issues. They can still live and enjoy so many things.
Because that's one of the things that we'd love to break down is the stigma attached to memory or dementia. We're still all here, maybe in different forms than when we once were, and it's still important to be living and being a part of the community. And I think that's one of the biggest things in the movement of dementia friends that to me is, or dementia friendly communities, is that everyone is still part of the community, and it doesn't have to change. Things do change, but not completely. You still a part and an active member, and I think that's what's so wonderful about these memory cafes. But Pat, you've also been involved in something else through the senior center, and that is a support group, a caregiver support group. Many of you who may be a caregiver or know of caregivers know that the demand on a caregiver is high and that you never really step back from it. So, Pat, could you tell us a little bit about that as well?
Well, our support group did meet in person until COVID, and now we are virtual. We meet every other Friday. In fact, when I finish this show with you, we have a support group at 10:30. It is virtual, and I do send out the Zoom link a few days before each one. And I want to say that caregivers are husbands, their wives, their children, their family, their friends. Caregivers have so many things on their plate. They not only are a caregiver, but many of them are working. Many of them have other responsibilities. They have children at home that they're taking care of. And there's a lot of stress that's involved in caregiving. And the caregiver support group gives caregivers an opportunity to meet together, to meet with other people that are caring for individuals. And here they find ways to deal with that stress and frustration and the isolation, especially during this time of COVID. One of the things that the caregiver support group stresses is you need to take care of yourself as a caregiver. And when the caregivers meet together, they talk about how they deal with the stress, with caregiving, with finding resources, with finding interesting tips on how to do things. Our caregiver support group is for anyone who is a caregiver. Currently, we do have many who are dealing with those living with dementia. It I think that, again, I had a caregiver say to me the other day that it's so comforting to come to a support group because the people there are like his family. They understand, and they're learning from people who are right there doing the caregiving. Who knows how to do it best than the person who's actually caregiving? And I think that the knowledge that you get from being in a support group is power. It helps you to be a better caregiver. The resources that We talk about our respite services, daycare services. Some of our individuals are veterans, and they talk about the resources that the VA has been able to give them. Our caregiver support group again meets every other Friday at 10:30. And again, you can call the Senior Center to register at 508-497-9730. I myself was a caregiver for my husband who was living with dementia for 8 years. And at first, I didn't want to join a support group because I thought that, I mean, you're in a state of denial when you're a caregiver. And at first, I didn't want to join. And then when my husband was finally in a facility because I couldn't take care of him at home anymore, I had a little bit of extra time, so I went out and joined a support group. And I wished that I had joined it much earlier, because the benefits that and the rewards that I obtained from being a member of a support group were just too many to explain. And so I think that please join us, especially during COVID. Our caregivers are your family too. So again, I'm looking forward to having you call Amy at the Senior Center and register, and maybe we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Our next support group is December 18th at 10:30.
Pat, that's, thank you for sharing that. It does make a difference to know that the people that you're working with are dealing with the same things. And I think, you have brought so much to that. And I appreciate everything you've brought to the efforts that we have to get the Memory Cafe going and having this support group. And again, like you said, you don't have to be caring for someone with dementia or to come to the support group. Right now, there are a lot of people there, but a lot of the same information, a lot of the support is similar. And so don't hesitate to contact us if you are in need of support in that way. And I know that you'll find the information that you need through this group. And I will say, Pat's been wonderful. She made this group a second, because we originally only had it once a month, but during COVID, Pat's been wonderful and added a second time during the month. So it's there. Come and join it.
If I may add, you don't have to be a care partner, a husband, a wife, or a child. You can be a family member. You can be a long distance caregiver. In fact, we have some long distance caregivers in our group currently. You can be a friend who wants to help be a caregiver. And so come join us and see what tips you can find to help the primary caregiver and the one that they're taking care of. Again, community involvement. I mean, if you're a friend or a neighbor and you want to know how to help and to understand what caregiving is all about, please join us.
Great. Well, thank you, Pat, and thanks for coming on. I know you're racing off to do this group this morning. So
Yes.
good luck with all of that. And thank you for taking the time to come on and squeeze us into your schedule. So
You're welcome. Stay safe, everyone, and be well. See you soon.
Great. Thanks, Pat.
You're welcome.
So, this is an important thing to remember, that there is the support there. And at the Senior Center, we can help with a lot of that. Early on, people often ask, where do I go for assistance? Where do I find help? Where do I find activities? Who can I talk to? And as Pat gave you the number to the Senior Center, I want to reinforce that yes, we are here to help. We have plenty of activities and programs that we're still doing, but we also are support. And if you are in need of medical equipment, durable medical equipment that we provide, you can give us a call. Again, that number is 508-497-9730. I think one of the pieces that people get very concerned with is virtual programming. And I wanted to address that. Yes, if you can join us by Zoom, that's great, but that doesn't limit you. A lot of people will be able to call in and listen to a program, even though they may not be able to see the people involved, but at least they can talk to them. And so don't hesitate to reach out to the Senior Center. Let us know if you want to come on, and we say virtual. It doesn't have to be by Zoom. It can be by phone. and we'll get you into a program. Some of the things that we have that meet just by the phone for the most part is a book group. And I think they may have gone to choosing one particular book, but for a long time they were sharing the books that they were reading in this group. The other thing that we have going on at the Senior Center is we have a puzzle swap. You know, we do those puzzles, and once you've done them once or twice, they get a little old. We've had a number of donations, which we have quarantined for a period of time, so they're coming to you fresh and clean, not new, but they are new to you. And so we'd love to be able to give you those if you would like. We have a day each month that we do our puzzle swap. And coming up in January, we're going to try some craft in a bag programs. So keep your eyes open to the newsletter. I think I showed that to you before, but you know, here it is. This is what it looks like. And please come and join us. So right now, I think we're going to share with you one of Chef Natalie's recipes. It's a chocolate chip pumpkin square. And I love chocolate chips and I love pumpkin. So hopefully I'll be making this one later today. So if you could cue that, we want to share with you Chef Natalie.
Happy fall, everyone. So the weather's cold and it's always nice to have something nicely made, warm out of the oven that fits the season. So today we are going to make some pumpkin chocolate chip squares. They're absolutely delicious. I actually made them for a function at the senior center before, and they were such a big hit that everybody came to me to ask for the recipe. So today I'm sharing this with you, and I hope you enjoyed as much as my family, my friends do. So we'll start with the following ingredients. We have about 1 cup of pumpkin puree. You can get those in a can. You can use fresh, but fresh is a bit too liquid, so can is probably the best one. We have 2 sticks of butter, sorry. I think it makes about a cup of butter. So 2 sticks of butter, 2 cups of flour, all-purpose flour or baking flour is fine. We have 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. We have 3/4 cup of sugar, 1 egg. We have 1 tablespoon of pumpkin spice with 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/4 spoon of salt. You will need a little bit of salt, not a whole lot, just a little bit. And then, yay, a 12-ounce bag of chocolate chips. Now, I've decided to go with the special dark. If you like dark, you can actually use the milk chocolate as well. So these are your ingredients. You're going to need a pan. A 9 by 13 inches would be great. This is I think a 9 by 9. I lined it with parchment paper, which will be definitely easier to take out. So that's all you need. So we're going to start by turning on the oven. So it needs a little bit of time to preheat. So I'm going to put my oven at 350. Here we go. And I'm going to melt my butter in the microwave for about a minute. Okay, so great. My butter is now melted. I'm going to mix my sugar with my butter. Here we go. Beautiful. And the reason I like to heat my butter first is because the sugar tends to melt better. It makes it work. So this is perfect. Here we go, a little bit longer. I'm going to add my vanilla. Now the egg. Mix. All right, so the other thing I'm going to do is mix my dry ingredients together. Then I'm going to mix my pumpkin in the butter. Okay. is the consistency that you want when you mix all the liquid ingredients together. Now I'm going to add the dry ingredients to it. You can do it in 2 batches because you don't want this to overflow. It's easier. Add the rest. There we go. All right, so this is the dough. Looks good, nicely stirred. And now I'm going to add my bag of chocolate chips to it, the whole bag. Whoops, who's in it? Here we go. Stir again, nicely mixed. We have our chocolate chips in here, so now we can actually pour this whole thing into the mold. Dish. Right, so this is ready to go in the oven. My oven is at temperature, so I'm going to put it in the oven at 350 for about 35 minutes. Check, take a little pin to see if it's cooked all the way through. If not, add another 5 minutes, so we'll check in 35 minutes. Okay, the oven just beeped. 35 minutes have gone by at 350. This is what you get. This is the type of square you're going to get. Pumpkin chocolate chip square. Let's make sure it's cooked all the way. So I'm going to, and it is. It's wonderful. So enjoy. I hope you're going to like it as much as we do.
Have to say, when she's making those things, I just want to go and ask her some questions, and actually I want to taste. So hopefully I can make that later today, and you can try it as well. So while we are here still, again, please reach out to the Senior Center if you have any needs at all. We have any number of programs, and we'd love to see you and be able to help you if you have needs. Again, the Senior Center number is 508-497-9730. And the staff of the Senior Center continues to be there every day for you. So give us a call. And even if you just want to say hi, we'd love to hear from you. We are really fortunate to have a staff that is trying new things all the time and spreading their wings to bring more to you. So as always, your safety is most important to us. Please continue to follow the state guidelines. I know they seem to move around a lot, but the ones that still remain in place are social distancing, good hand washing, and please remember to wear your mask. So as always, stay safe and keep moving with the Senior Center.